Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to sift through the noise and bring you insights that, well, genuinely make you well informed. And today, we're digging into something critical, but often kind of unseen in many workplaces: manual handling. Now, here's a stat that might make you sit up a bit. Did you know up to a third of all workplace accidents are down to manual handling? It's way more than just, lifting heavy boxes. It's this quiet issue impacting health, productivity, and just the well-being of so many people. So in this deep dive, we're pulling back the curtain. We're looking at the whole world of manual handling, using insights from OpEx Analyse and improve manual handling. Our mission, to really change how you see it. We'll explore what manual handling truly is, the surprising range of injuries it causes, and crucially, give you strategies. Strategies to spot, assess, and control these risks wherever you work. So get ready for a shortcut to being really informed on something that affects, well, how we move every day.
It really does. And it's one of those areas that seems simple, doesn't it, on the surface? But like you said, the implications, they run incredibly deep. And the sheer scale of these injuries, it often just gets missed until, someone gets hurt.
That's exactly it, isn't it? When you say manual handling, people picture, big lifts on a building site. But the source material, it straight away says, no, it's any activity where you use force to move something, transport it, support it
Yeah.
by hand, or just bodily force.
Hmm.
So yeah, not just the warehouse guy. What's an everyday example people might totally miss?
That's a great point, because those overlooked tasks are why the numbers are, frankly, so high. Think about an office worker, maybe pushing a really full mail trolley, or constantly reaching up high for folders, even just carrying a pile of reports across the office. That's manual handling.
Okay, yeah.
Or in retail, restocking shelves all day, pulling stuff from the back room, it all counts. And what's really interesting is how this broad definition explains why so many accidents fall into this bucket. We're using our bodies in ways we don't think of as manual labor, but the physical toll is definitely real.
Right.
These things are sort of silent contributors to musculoskeletal disorders, MSDs, and they make up more than half of these injuries.
Wow, more than half.
Yeah. And it's not just a minor twinge either. We're talking serious cost workers' comp claims, loads of lost workdays. In some cases, people are out for more than 6 months. It's a massive drain, both on people and, well, on the business.
That scale is just staggering. But what the source also really hammers home is that these injuries aren't just, one bad lift. It's this whole spectrum, almost insidious, from sudden sprains to that slow creep of chronic pain. It's like a story of stress building up, risks being missed.
Exactly.
We're talking sprains, strains, ligament injuries, tendon issues, not just the back, but wrists, arms, shoulders, neck, legs. You've got disc problems in the spine, other soft tissue injuries, hernias, and that really tough one, chronic pain. It affects the whole body.
It really does. And understanding how they happen is key. The guide sort of breaks it down into 3 main ways. First, there's the sudden one-off overload. Someone tries to lift something way too heavy, maybe, or the load shifts unexpectedly, bang, injury.
Okay, the classic scenario.
Then there's intense, strenuous activity, maybe for a short burst, like a really busy shift, moving lots of stuff quickly, pushing your body hard for a while.
Right, like a rush job.
Exactly. But the third one, and this is often the sneakiest, is repetitive actions. These are the small movements. They seem totally harmless on their own, but you do them again and again and again. They build up tiny traumas over time, silently heading towards a pretty significant injury.
That cumulative effect. Yeah, that sounds like the really dangerous one because you don't see it coming, do you?
Not easily, no.
So if we zoom in a bit, which parts of the body are really taking the brunt of this? Where's the damage showing up most?
Oh, the lower back. Definitely. The source flags lower back pain as the most common and the most expensive work-related injury, hands down. We're talking slip discs, spinal disc ruptures, compressed nerves, muscle spasms, even just making existing back problems worse.
Ouch.
And you have to understand why it's so vulnerable. The spine's complex, right?
Yeah.
33 vertebrae, cervical, thoracic, lumbar zones. It gives us amazing flexibility.
But that's the problem too.
That's the trade-off, yeah. It makes it really susceptible to twisting, bending, compression, all common in manual handling, especially that lower lumbar area. That takes most of the load.
Like a finely tuned machine, but easy to knock out of whack.
Yeah.
Okay, so the back is number 1. What about elsewhere? Where else do these stresses build up?
Well, beyond the back, upper limb injuries are super common, especially if you think about industries like keyboard work, assembly lines, manufacturing.
Yeah, lots of repetitive motions there.
Exactly. We see things like tendinitis, inflammation in the tendons and carpal tunnel syndrome, which messes with the nerve in your wrist.
Ah, I know people who've had that.
Yeah, they're classic repetitive strain injuries, RSI. It's not one big lift that causes them. It's thousands of tiny, seemingly okay actions that just add up over time. They creep up on you.
Okay, so with all these potential harms hitting so many body parts, it really raises the question, who's responsible for managing it all?
Eh,
Is it just up to the employee to, like, lift properly?
Not at all, no. The main responsibility, the guide makes this crystal clear, lands squarely on the employer. There's a code of practice. It says employers have to identify, assess, and control these risks.
Right, it's a legal requirement then.
It is, and it's not just about, I don't know, handing out pamphlets. It's about being proactive, designing safety into the system, good design of equipment, containers, the actual work processes, the whole environment, building safety in from the start, not tacking it on later.
Okay, so the employer sets the stage for safety. But the employee still has a part to play in this, right? They can't just ignore it.
Absolutely. It's definitely a partnership. Employees need to use the training they get on safe techniques. That's crucial. And that includes using mechanical aids properly if they're provided, wearing the right PPE, following procedures for team lifts when that's needed.
Makes sense. Employer designs the safe system, employee engages with it correctly.
That's the idea, yeah.
Okay, but how does an employer, or even an employee who's concerned, actually become that risk detective? How do you spot these hazards day to day?
There are a few really practical ways. Looking at past injury records is a great start.
Yeah.
Where have things gone wrong before? That often points you to problem tasks or areas.
You mean the data?
Exactly. Then you absolutely have to talk to people. Your employees, your health and safety reps, they're the ones doing the job. They know where the difficulties are, where the near misses happen. Their insight is gold. And honestly, sometimes it's just about walking around and really looking at the workplace. The hazards can be right there in plain sight.
And when you are looking, what are the specific red flags? What makes something hazardous manual handling that needs assessing, that can't just be a feeling?
No, it's more defined than that. The source gives clear criteria. It includes tasks that involve repetitive or sustained force, or repetitive or sustained awkward postures or movements like constant bending, twisting, reaching.
Okay.
Also, applying high force, even if it's not repetitive. Exposure to sustained vibration, that's a big one for upper limb issues. Or handling loads that are just unstable or awkward to grip. Things that force your body into weird positions to manage them. These flags help make the assessment objective.
Right, taking the guesswork out. And to track if things are getting better or worse, the source mentions injury frequency charting. How does that work practically?
Think of it like taking the temperature of your workplace's physical safety. You track the number and type of manual handling injuries over time, maybe monthly, maybe quarterly. You get clear data. It shows you not just the injuries are happening, but when, where, how often, are there patterns. This lets you see trends, maybe identify specific departments or tasks that are hotspots, and then you can focus your efforts, your improvements, your training exactly where they'll do the most good. Turns vague worries into action points.
That ongoing monitoring sounds key. And when you do need to reassess, maybe a new machine comes in or someone reports pain, the source outlines a clear process. What triggers a reassessment and what does it look like?
Right. Reassessment should happen often, especially with changes. Any new task, new procedure, new piece of equipment, reassess. Changes in work hours, reassess. Someone reporting pain or discomfort, definitely reassess.
Or even small things.
Even things like changes in lighting, the floor surface, maybe exposure to weather if working outside. Heat, cold, rain, these can all change the risk and the assessment process itself. The guide suggests looking at the task under normal conditions, yes, but also think about busy periods or seasonal peaks when stress might be higher. Always, always talk to the people doing the task. Their input is vital. Use checklists to systematically cover things like force, posture, repetition, vibration. Then you prioritize. Which risks need fixing now?
That's very methodical.
Yeah.
But often we see the problem like this box is awkward to lift.
Yeah.
But we don't always dig into why it needs lifting that way right there.
Yeah,
That's where motion maps come in.
Exactly. Motion maps help you get to the root causes, not just the symptoms. Imagine literally drawing the path something takes through your process. A product, a tool, even paperwork. You're not just looking at the lift itself, but asking, why lift it here? Is it because the last step put it down wrong, or the next step is too far? You map the flow.
Visualizing the whole journey.
Yeah. Precisely. And doing that can reveal the underlying reasons why manual handling is happening. Is it poor layout? A clunky process forcing extra moves? No clear standard for how things should be done? Maybe it's just congestion, bad storage, or even just poor housekeeping creating obstacles. It shifts your thinking from the action the lift to the system that makes the lift necessary. That leads to much better solutions.
Okay, so we've found the hazards, we've maybe mapped the whys. What's in the toolkit for actually fixing things? How do we control these risks?
The approach is pretty straightforward, actually. Once you've identified a hazard and assessed it as a risk, the goal is simple. Either eliminate it completely,
The best option.
the ideal, yes,
Yeah.
or if you can eliminate it, reduce the risk as much as you possibly can. It's a clear two-pronged attack.
Right. Let's break that down. What about modifying the workplace itself? What are some concrete ideas there?
For the workplace, the first question is always, can we just get rid of this handling step altogether? Design it out of the process. If not, simple things help, like work surfaces at the right height for the task and the person. That cuts down awkward bending or reaching.
Makes sense.
Storing heavy stuff around waist height, not on the floor, not way up high, that makes a massive difference. And of course, providing mechanical aids. Forklifts, pallet jacks, even basic trolleys. But, and this is vital, ensuring people are properly trained to use them safely.
Good point on the training. Okay, that's the environment. What about the thing being handled, the load itself? Can we change that?
Absolutely. Load modification can be really effective. Think about repackaging. Can you make things smaller, lighter, easier to handle manually? Or sometimes you might go the other way. Make it bigger or heavier so it has to be moved mechanically, taking manual handling out of the equation.
Interesting twist.
Yeah. Other ideas. Adding proper handles or grips to the load itself makes it much easier and safer to hold. For heavier items, think about team lifts, but with clear rules on how to coordinate. Or maybe investing in things like vacuum lifts for certain objects. Lots of options.
It really highlights how much design thinking matters.
Yeah.
Now, what about the broader work environment? Things we might overlook.
Yeah, general environment stuff is important too. Better lighting, for instance. If people can see clearly, they're less likely to trip or move awkwardly.
Simple but effective.
Same with heating or cooling. If people aren't freezing or sweating, they're less likely to rush or get fatigued, which can lead to mistakes and bad posture. Also, keeping moving equipment well maintained. Trolleys with wheels that actually roll smoothly breaks that work.
Oh yeah, fighting a wonky trolley is definitely a strain.
It really is, and fixing hazards quickly, like uneven floors or damaged wheels, those things often cause sprains when people try to compensate.
Okay, and the last area for control ideas.
Yeah.
Changing the work procedures, how the work gets done.
Right. This is about changing the task itself. Maybe ensuring more than one person is available for certain lifts, or changing how long someone does a task for, or how often, breaking up long periods of the same activity.
Job rotation.
Job rotation is a classic example, yeah. Letting different muscle groups rest, or just building in more frequent short breaks during really repetitive tasks. It helps manage that cumulative stress.
So lots of system level changes.
Yeah.
But even with all that, there's still the individual doing the lift, right?
Yeah.
What of the art of a safe lift itself? The source breaks down techniques.
Absolutely. Technique is still critical. Even in the best system, you need good technique. The guide calls it the art of a safe lift and breaks it down well. It starts before you even touch it. Plan the lift. Don't just grab and go.
Oh.
Check the weight, clear your path, know where it's going.
Preparation.
Key.
Yeah.
Then adopt a good lifting position. Feet shoulder width apart, stable base. Bend your knees, keep your back straight. Engage your core muscles.
The classic advice, knees not back.
It's classic for a reason. Then get a firm grip. Use your whole hand, not just fingertips. Control. Crucially, keep the load close to your body. Hug it close. Less strain on your spine that way. Keep elbows tucked in.
Leverage, right?
Exactly. Then lift smoothly. Use your powerful leg muscles to drive the lift up. No jerking, no twisting while lifting.
Smooth power.
And finally, put it down correctly. Reverse the process. Bend the knees. Keep the back straight. Don't just drop it. These aren't just rules. They're about working with your body's mechanics.
Fantastic practical steps anyone can use.
Yeah.
And for people wanting to roll this out systematically, like across a whole company, the source mentions specific tools, templates.
Yeah, and these tools are really helpful for structuring the whole improvement effort. They're not just paperwork. You've got things like hazard ID forms, risk assessment forms, especially good ones for repetitive tasks, risk control forms to track solutions, and checklists to make sure changes actually happen.
And so it becomes a managed process.
Exactly. It helps you analyze risks properly, figure out the physical demands, look at time and effort, implement the changes you planned, and then, optimize things for safer, more efficient work. Turns a big problem into manageable steps. Continuous improvement.
And that really brings our deep dive today to a close. We've covered a lot of ground from redefining manual handling to understanding the wide range of injuries and exploring that systematic way to identify, assess, and control the risks. Hopefully, you now have a solid framework, not just seeing what goes wrong, but digging into the why and knowing how to actually make things better, turning that hidden risk into something you can tackle.
So as you finish listening, maybe think about your own workplace or even just tasks around the house. Is there one manual handling activity you hadn't really thought about before, something you now see with perhaps fresh eyes regarding the risk? Maybe consider just one of these strategies we talked about. Applying even one thing might just stop that next injury, that next statistic from happening.